Hi everybody, my name is Ashley. Welcome to this restorative yoga practice. I have some props today that I think that you will likely have in your home. So I've got some couch cushions instead of bolsters. I do have yoga blocks, but if you have any books, that would work too. And then instead of a strap, I have a belt today. So you can use the belt of your robe or a leather belt, anything that you can kind of use to wrap around your legs. This is a practice that's going to be just about helping you calm down and reset. We're going to hold the postures for a few minutes each. So if you need to kind of wiggle in the beginning to get comfortable, then feel free to do that. And then once you settle in and find a place that works for you, we're going to aim to stay there, focus on the breathing, and allow ourselves to really relax and open up in every posture. If getting down on the floor doesn't feel right for you, you can do this whole practice in your bed with a couple of pillows. With that being said, we're going to get started. So you can sit nice and tall. If you prefer to bring 2 blocks underneath the outer edges of your knees, just because your hips feel a little bit restricted, then this might feel good to you. But wherever you are, just find a place that you can sit up easily. And then close your eyes. We'll take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just allowing ourselves to come into the room. To come into this space, this moment, this time of practice, where we're not focusing on anything else, but right now. And then as you inhale, imagine your shoulders moving over your hips, creating a long line of energy from your sitting bones up through the crown of your head. You can soften through the collarbones and let your shoulder blades come toward one another and gently down your back. Soften the space between your eyebrows and let the muscles of your face soften. Now bring your attention to your breath. Notice its quality. Is it long, slow, or maybe it's shorter? Do you feel it coming all the way into your low belly, or does it stop somewhere around the chest? And then imagine your breath as expansive in all directions. So inhaling to let it fill the length of your body. Filling the width of your body. And lastly, feeling the depth of your body, feeling the expansion of your breath on all sides. And find a full exhale. You can bring your hands in toward your heart, hug your thumbs into your chest, and bow your head toward your hands. Just take a moment. Feel grateful for this time to be on your mat and focusing on you. And if there's something that's brought you here to your practice, some intention that you feel your mind working on, allow that a moment of attention. Acknowledging what your body is asking for, and accepting the call to investigate and nurture yourself. open the eyes. And then we'll start by bringing the shins one in front of the other. So just a little bit of movement at the beginning of class can feel nice. It's hard to be still when you haven't moved a whole lot at first. So we'll take the shins out in front of one another and then sit up nice and tall. And even still, you might like these blocks underneath your knees. That's fine. So find this length in your spine, this broadness across the chest. Think long through the back of the neck. And then start to bring your heart forward and your fingertips down to the floor or to your mat, to your bed. And then just tune back in with the breath and find some really gentle movements from side to side. If your hips are feeling a little tight, you might just be up here. Wherever you are, the object is to focus on where the breath starts to get stuck. So as you move from side to side, really tune in to, oh, that's a little sticky. So I'm going to pause and take a deeper breath and really focus on the exhale. Imagine sending that breath to that area of tension and then moving again. And eventually, if it feels good, you might bring your forearms all the way down to the mat. You can rest a block underneath your forehead or even bring a bolster underneath your chest for some extra support. And we'll just breathe here. So softening the muscles of the face. Breathing into the outer hips. Sometimes in these more intense hip openers, we carry some tension in our jaw when we can't find the ease in the hips. So if your mind is distracted, you can bring your attention to softening the smaller parts of yourself. The space between the eyebrows. Allowing your breath to flow with ease. the hands back in toward you, rising up. And then we'll inhale to take the arms up overhead, lift up out of the waist, lift the chest. Create some space between the bottom of your ribs and the top of your hips. And then bring your left hand down to the mat. Take your right arm up and over. Just kind of press a little bit into that left hand. The right hip is rooted down. And reach up through the right side. You might even scoop the left ribs up toward the sky. And then inhale, we'll come back up to center. And exhale, take it to the other side. So right hand comes down. Reach that left arm up and over. Keep pressing into the right hand. Left hip is heavy. Bring that breath all the way into the belly. And we'll slowly bring that left hand back down and take the other shin out in front. So I had my left out, so now here comes my right. And wiggle around as you need to. And then again, finding the sitting bones, sitting up tall, feeling that broadness across the chest, creating a pathway for breath to move up and down the spine. And then long here as you come forward, bringing the fingertips out to the sides. And you can explore here. So what feels good? How far out do you want to take the hands? Do you want to stay lifted? But tune back into the breath. And when you find a place that pauses your breathing, then be with that for a moment. Noticing what you need, asking how you can make it better. Sometimes it's backing off, sometimes it's wiggling just a bit, sometimes it's breathing and finding stillness. Whatever that is for you, just say yes to that. And you can bring the forearms down, and again, if you want to bring a block underneath your head, or you can also bring a cushion underneath you to support. We'll just fold here and again begin breathing into the hips, feeling rooted through the sitting bones. Let the upper body be heavy. Walking the hands back up towards you, pressing yourself back up. You can take your props over to the side again. And then we'll inhale to take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale from the low belly, twist toward the right side. Bring attention to your navel. And then as you inhale, grow long through your spine. And then as you exhale, you can start to twist a little more toward the right side, maybe taking your gaze out over your right shoulder. But we're not using the arms here to kind of torque ourselves into any position. The twist initiates from the belly, then allow the chest and shoulders to follow. And then we'll inhale to take the arms back up to center. And exhale to the other side. So right hand can come to the left knee, the left fingertips behind you. And always inhaling to create some space first. So grow as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, move a little more into that space. Looking out over your left shoulder. Coming back to your breath. Inhale, turn your gaze back to center, take your arms up overhead, unwind. Exhale, pull your hands in toward your heart. So we'll start to move into a supported fish pose. Now, I'll show you how to use your props to set up and get comfortable in every posture, but remember that the goal really is to just allow yourself to relax and do no work. So if something that I show you doesn't really work for you or it doesn't feel comfortable with your props or the position that you're in, make whatever adjustments you need to allow your mind to be not so distracted by what your body's doing so that you can really focus on your breath and calm down. So we'll bring the blocks, if you have 2 blocks or books, stack one on its tallest height and the second on the middle height. And then you'll take your cushion or a bolster, if you have a rolled up yoga mat, that works too. And you'll drape it over the top. And then I like to use my blanket as well, but you don't have to. Just kind of lay it here over the top of the bolster. Bring it about to the small of your back. And then you'll lay down over for a supported fish pose. So you can also take your blocks down and just lay with them flat on the mat over your rolled up mat or your bolster. And if you have another pillow, it might be nice to kind of prop it up underneath your knees. And then just start to come back to the body. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze on the ceiling. Feel the back of your body connected with your mat. Allow your bones to be heavy. bring the hands down along our sides. Use the strength of your arms to sort of press onto one forearm at a time and rise up. We'll scoot this pillow out of the way for now. And we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So you have a couple of options. You can use your bolster to support your low back. I prefer the block, but these cork blocks can be a little rough. So putting a blanket over the top of it is nice. Our skin actually has these receptors in it that communicate with our muscles and say, hey, this is soft. We can relax and feel supported. So if something has a hard edge, you might want to cover it up, or you might find more difficulty releasing tension. So we'll come down to the back. Lift the hips up as you press into the heels, and then bring your block underneath your sacrum, so your low back. And then I'm going to bring my belt around my thighs. And you don't have to use a belt or anything here, but I find that sometimes my inner thighs want to work overtime in this posture. So by bringing my belt around my thighs and then just kind of looping it through so that my knees stay more or less in line with my hips, but I'm not having to work to keep my legs together. So I'm really allowing them to soften my inner thighs, and they're just relying on the belt to keep them from splaying out to the sides. So now you can bring your arms down along your sides, or rest one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Come back to your breath. Oftentimes, coming into a body scan, taking your attention from the top of your head slowly down through your body to your toes can help you really sink back in to the restorative moment. So if you find your mind wandering, you can imagine a warm light at the crown of your head. With every breath in, it starts to spread its warmth and its relaxation down over your forehead, the back of your scalp, down your face. With every exhale, this light grows a little brighter, a little warmer. You become a little softer. Letting the breath carry it down across your shoulders, your upper back, your chest, belly, and hips. Down through your legs, over the tops of your feet, and going back down into the earth. slide your block blanket out from underneath your hips. And lower your pelvis back down to the mat and very easily roll over to your left side, your right side. And then press into that right hand. We're slowly going to come back up. You can take your belt off and over to the side. You're going to find a twist. So grab your blocks and we'll place them in that yoga tower again, with one block on its highest setting, the second on its shorter. And then find your bolster or your rolled up mat or pillow. Make your little layers like we did for supported fish pose. And sit with your left hip close to the base of your mat. And your knees can be stacked or open as much as is comfortable. Remember, if your mind is distracted by trying to get comfortable in the position, then it's not easy to restore and really drop into that moment. So whatever adjustments you need to make, feel free to do so here. We're going to start to turn the chest toward our yoga roll and then melt the belly down over the top of it. Now, you can try to turn your gaze away from your knees, bringing the right cheek down to the mat. But if it feels uncomfortable for your neck, then turn and face the other direction. You can close your eyes. If the guided visualization of a body scan is helpful for you, then return to that. Feeling the guidance of your breath, surrendering to gravity and the moment. the shoulders, pressing into the hands to rise up, and then taking it to the other side. So I'll move my bundle, but you can just turn around. So bringing your bundle to your other hip. And then crossing your knees. If you want to stack them or leave some space between them, that's fine. And then turn your torso toward your bolster and then begin to fold. Again, you can take your gaze out away from your legs, or if it feels more comfortable, you can turn your cheek the other way. pressing yourself back up to seated. We'll move our little bolster set to the side for now. And we'll move into a Janu Shirsasana, restorative version. So take your legs out long and pull your left foot to your right inner thigh. And then we'll take this big pillow, or you can stack a couple of them up and just kind of place it in your lap. Your right leg's extended. And then as you ground down through your sitting bones, feel tall. And then start to bring your heart forward and melt over your pillow. You can round your upper back here. If your knee kind of bends or your toes turn out to the side, that's okay. Just allow yourself enough support so that you can bring your head down and breathe here into the hips. Feel the softness of your shoulders. And then slowly rising back up. We'll take the left leg out to the side. And then pull the right foot in. And then bring your pillow back to the inside of your left leg. So you can stack it up as tall as you need to feel comfortable as you fold forward. And again, if this right knee is lifting up really high and you feel uncomfortable in the hips, you can roll up your blanket or bring your blocks. Anything to support under this space will feel better. And then start to settle in. we'll slowly rise up. Take your pillow out to the side. We'll move down onto our bellies. So you may like to have a blanket here for our prone half frog pose. So we'll take the bolster or your pillow underneath the side of the leg that's going to go out to the side. So we're going to start with the right. And then a blanket might be nice underneath the left hip point, because as you lift the right leg over your bolster, the left hip is going to come down onto the mat, and that might feel a little uncomfortable. So an extra blanket here could be nice. So we're going to come down onto the belly and then bring the right leg out to the side. You can use your pillow to support all the way from the knee to the ankle. As you turn to bring your belly down, you can make a pillow with your forearms and rest your forehead. Just breathing into that space in the inner thigh. Allowing your muscles to be heavy, drape over your bones. Mind starts to wander, return to that intention of being here today. Your gratitude for your practice. The head, bring your arms back underneath you. Take that leg out to the side. And then bring your bolster over to the other side or your pillow. And we'll roll to bring the blanket underneath the right hip. Then cross the left leg up and over onto that pillow. The ankle is more or less in line with the knee in line with the hip. If it comes out or in to accommodate how tight or comfortable you're feeling today, that's fine. And then make your forearm pillow, bring your forehead down. If your mind is drawn to the tension you might be feeling in your lower body, see if you can focus on the feeling of your belly, expanding and contracting with your breath. And the weight of your chest down on the mat. Of your feet and the shins to your pillow. Let your belly rest on your blanket, or you can bring a pillow underneath your head. Bring your forehead down. Bringing the belly down to the floor is a good down regulator. It makes us feel safe and protected. But if you prefer Shavasana on your back or on your side, feel free to get in your most comfortable position for complete rest. We'll come back to that feeling of warmth and ease in the body. The heaviness and support. Soften the root of your tongue, releasing your low jaw. everything go. Ready, begin to peel your forehead up, bringing your hands underneath you. You can press yourself up to your knees, come down to your seat. And we'll end with a few breaths together, so however is comfortable for you. If you're in bed, feel free to stay lying down. Tune back into the breath coming all the way into the belly, expanding in all directions, and the quality of lift and openness that it gives you. We'll take a few breaths together, inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose. And out through the mouth. In through the nose. Let it all go. Heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for taking time to check in with yourself. The whole world gets better when we take time to care for ourselves. Namaste.